Greetings, everyone. Due to popular demand, I am back with the esteemed, highly distinguished YouTube's top rabbi, Rabbi Manis Friedman. Welcome back, Rabbi Friedman.
Welcome back.
Or I should say, I am welcoming myself back to this time your studio and your podcast. It's good to know. Thank you so much for talking to me again.
Talking to you is a pleasure.
Well,
now let's get down to work.
Exactly right. And to refresh your memory, Rabbi Manis Friedman is a world-renowned author, teacher, and speaker, well known for his provocative and incisive wit and wisdom. His international speaking tours, seminars, and retreats take him around the world. He's been featured on CNN, A&E Reviews, PBS and BBC worldwide, as well as in such publications as the New York Times, Rolling Stone, 17, Guideposts, and Publishers Weekly. He's the author of The Joy of Intimacy, a soulful guide to keeping the spark alive, and Doesn't Anyone Blush Anymore? And most recently, Divinely Vulnerable, which is a book I'm incredibly excited about. Pardon me. He is the most popular rabbi on YouTube and has hosted his own critically acclaimed cable TV series syndicated throughout North America. He's the dean of the Beis Chana Institute of Jewish Studies, which he co-founded in 1971, and the founder of It's Good to Know, which is the title of this podcast, which we are going to be running every month. Once a month. So all your questions, I will save them up. We can bring them to the rabbi every month. What an honor. And this is a nonprofit life learning foundation based in New York City. He lives with his family in St. Paul, Minnesota. Is that still true? No. In New York, in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York.
In Brooklyn, New York. And to learn more about Rabbi Manis Friedman and his work, visit itsgoodtoknow.org. Oh, we've already got so many people who have come back to hear what you've got to say. So, the last time we spoke, as you know, my audience is mostly not Jewish, I would say, reflects the population. It's a very diverse audience. It's an international audience as well as a U.S. audience. And so you very patiently and kindly took questions, like the burning questions that people wanted to know, whether they were Jewish or not Jewish, or Christian, or, Muslim, or whoever. And as a result, I thought a lot about how powerful that was. And I also think, this is just a little preamble, it was very powerful in a time of incredible anti-Semitism, because people are just making things up about Jews and about, the Jewish religion. And it's powerful to have, one of the most esteemed rabbis in America, if not the world, physically present, simply, representing what is this? What are we? What are we doing as Jews? What's the Torah? What's the Talmud? And so on. So I boiled down what I want to ask to 7 questions out of one of your recent books, Creating a Life That Matters, which I feel touch on a lot of larger things. But is there anything you wanted to say before we get into Ask the Rabbi 7 questions?
Asking is good. The answers are necessary, and if we don't talk and ask and answer, we're not going to get anywhere.
It's well put.
So let's pursue and invite all the questions, any question, because we've been at this for 3,000 years. We should have a few answers.
Well, before we get into the questions themselves, can I ask you a question about questions?
Sure.
That's a very Jewish question. Well, I feel like our tradition welcomes questions and arguments and back and forth, even back and forth with God. This comes up several times in the Torah. And I've thought a lot about that because it's different in that way from other faiths. I'm not saying better, though I'm comfortable with it. Other faiths that put a higher premium on just accepting theological dictates without questioning. Is that a true summary, or would you disagree with that?
Yeah, it's absolutely true that God's purpose in giving us a Torah is so that we get to know him. You can't get to know if you don't ask a question. So faith is absolutely essential, and there are moments when that's all we have, when things are really difficult. But the objective is the unknowable God wants to be known.
So in your view, the unknowable God isn't offended when we ask follow-up questions or express even that we're having trouble with something we understand him to be requesting of us.
I think he's more offended when we dismiss him as unknowable.
Wow, well put, well put.
Actually, this guy was carrying on about God. You can't know God. You can't know him. He's mysterious. He's different. We'll never know. We'll never understand. I said, I pity your wife. Do you say the same thing about her? Women. Who can understand women? Who'll never understand. Not good. You can't have a relationship with someone you don't know.
Right, well said. I mean, in this book and in other work of yours, you talk about the relationship between humans and God as a marriage, as a relationship. And do you want to say more about that before we jump into question number one?
It's really, at Mount Sinai, God's plan, as he expressed it to Moses, go tell the people, here's how this is going to work. You're going to come up the mountain. I will speak to you. Everything I need to say, I'm going to say to you in singular. And the people are going to hear our conversation. And that way they will know that what you say is true and they'll trust you. Moshe comes back to the people and says, here's the plan. So listen up. And they said, oh, why can't we see God? He's our king. He's talking to us. Why can't we see him? Moshe goes back to God, whatever that means. and he says, the people want to see you. And God says, good. No. It's good that they want to see me, but no. You're going to hear me. The idea is God wants a relationship that is intimate and permanent. That doesn't happen by seeing. Seeing is way too objective. You get excited the first time, the second time, the third time, well, I've seen that already.
It's true.
The only way to really connect to someone is to hear them. So God said, I don't want you to be impressed with what I look like. I want you to hear me. That's why 3,338 years later, we're still talking about him.
Wow.
If we had seen him back then, by now he would have been forgotten.
Wow. Is that one reason God is so upset at least in the 5 books of Moses, with people worshiping idols? Or is it just the larger question of unfaithfulness?
When credible doctors start paying attention to purposed medications, it's really worth asking why. Dr. Harvey Risch, who's a friend of mine, I adore him, a friend of mine and Brian's, former professor of epidemiology at Yale, and now serving on the president's cancer panel, is helping lead that conversation. A new groundbreaking observational study from the wellness company analyzed the off-label use of ivermectin and mebendazole in nearly 200 cancer patients treated by licensed doctors across cancers such as breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancers. And the results are hard to ignore. After 6 months, 84% of patients experienced clinical benefit, including stable disease, tumor regression, no evidence of disease. This is not lab data. This is real-world patient experience. Dr. Risch, chief epidemiologist at the wellness company, called it an exciting signal deserving serious scientific investigation and more accessible, lower-cost cancer care options. God knows. I have some loved ones who are going through cancer treatment right now, and did you know it's the only treatment in which the oncologist gets a cut of the chemotherapy? It's shocking. Perverse incentives. That is why the wellness company makes it easy to access an ivermectin and mebendazole formula using medications that are FDA approved for other indications and are being studied for additional use. That's what a second purpose means. It is doctor prescribed and USA compounded, so no weird overseas supply chain, designed to support these patients exploring these emerging approaches under medical guidance. Ordering is simple and fully digital. Just fill out a quick intake form, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your prescription ships directly to your door. Head to dailyclouthealth.com. Again, that's dailyclouthealth.com, and use code DAILYCLOUT to save up to $60 off plus free shipping. You guys have to do it.
Unfaithful. That is such a strong, yes, God wants an intimate relationship.
Right. So it's like adultery when you worship idols.
Infidelity.
Infidelity. Wow, super powerful. And I just want to note, we say this a lot when we're going through the Chabad Masoretic text, Hebrew version of the Bible, comparing it to the 1560 Geneva Bible, comparing those to the Revised Standard Version, which is what I do kind of separately from this. It comes up over and over and over that the way we've been taught about God, if we're not lucky enough to be part of this tradition, is so different from that, right? We're not taught that he wants a relationship with us in this intimate way. We're not taught that he's so accessible. We're not taught that he cares about every little thing human beings do, or that he wants collaborators. The relationship is presented as much more unknowable, hierarchical, just take it on faith. So this is a revelation. So question number 1. You say in the chapter, is religion necessary, which I adore. I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs. The difference between religion and Judaism, putting aside all the philosophy and theological fancy talk, is that religion says, I need something from God. What can I do to appeal to him so that I'll get what I need? Judaism, on the other hand, asks, what does God need from me? Religion demands a certain lifestyle and presumably guarantees certain rewards. If I behave in such and such a way, God will give me all the things I need and want. If not in this world, then after I die. In Judaism, the opposite is the case. We're not asking God to do anything for us, nor to assure us we'll get a good seat in heaven when we die. We're simply here to serve God. It's about a relationship, not a transaction. If religion's slogans are God is good, God is powerful, God is love, or God is salvation, the Jewish slogan is simply, this is my God. And the last paragraph, Judaism is not about going to heaven. It is about bringing heaven down to earth. If you can say to God, I don't want anything from you, I just want you, and to do for you what you need from me, you're well on your way toward having brought heaven down to earth. Please say more about that.
That is so crucial. I mean, that's the whole story right there. Are we created or born or whatever? Are we here to solve our problems? Why do we have problems? Who created this mess? You're born with problems. Good luck. Well, what is that? It can't be. It can't be. God created the world. That's a very strong, meaningful statement. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. In the beginning, meaning before you existed, God already wanted to create the world, desired a creation. So this is not about you, it's about him. So the ultimate question in life is, what does my Creator want from me? Because I didn't ask to be born. He created me on his own initiative. So he's after something. And if I don't know what that is, then I don't know my purpose in life. Which is also a little tricky. Say, my purpose. I can't make up a purpose. I can't invent a purpose. Purpose means before you existed, there was a reason for you to exist. Well, who had that reason? It wasn't me. I didn't exist.
Right.
So when I say my purpose, it really means God's purpose for me. So the ultimate question in life, which people run away from because they're convinced there's no answer. The ultimate question in life is, what am I needed for? What do I need? That's depressing.
That's so true.
As soon as I start with what I need, the day is shot.
You're so right. So, do you find that when people ask, what does God need from me, their lives develop more focus and meaning kind of immediately?
It's the whole story.
But experientially, do you find that people's lives
yeah.
change when they do that?
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, they're more relaxed, they're more available, just by asking the question before
Wow.
they even have an answer.
Do you think God is waiting for us to ask that question in order to provide those answers?
He's not waiting. He gave us the answers.
Right. But I mean, how can I put it? If, like, I've been struck at how when someone reaches that point of saying, okay, God, I can't do it on my own. I don't know what's going on. I need your help. Come on in. He steps in. Like that seems to happen.
But that's bad news.
Right.
So God is there only when I'm in trouble?
Right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
It seems that way.
Right. But let's be like realistically thinking about most modern people's lived day-to-day life in their brain. Most modern people in a secular world are thinking, I'm depressed, I work too hard, my family isn't, as united as I want them to be, my relationship isn't what I want it to be, I'm bored, I'm distracted, I'm addicted, all these things. Do you find practically that when people ask the question, what does God need from me, those other ruminations kind of quiet down and their life
Yes.
becomes more meaningful?
Yes. Because ultimately, our anxiety, whatever that is, what is it? Somebody said, anxiety is really bad because it makes you anxious. We don't even know what it is.
That's true.
Some vague discomfort with life. What is it? Anxiety? It's not fear, because I don't even know what I'm afraid of.
Right.
It comes from not knowing why I'm here.
Right. It's true.
I mean, you find yourself in a place and you don't know why you're there.
Right.
That creates anxiety.
Right. Kind of existential anxiety.
Exactly.
Right. Pardon me. Interesting. So in your life, you've seen people's lives take on coherence when they ask this question.
We're always asking, what is the purpose of life?
Right.
Have we not come up with an answer ever? So we've been asking it forever.
Right.
What's the answer?
Well, these are two different questions, right? When people ask, what is my purpose, a number of random things could beckon to them. But when they ask, how can I serve God with my life's efforts, then other things are going to become more visible, correct?
Okay, so here's the problem. If God doesn't have a purpose for me, then I don't have a purpose.
Right. Wow.
I'm a random existence
Right.
without a purpose.
Very true.
Now, I can make one up
Right.
and then change my mind next week.
Right.
I said, oh, my purpose is to be a doctor. Actually, no, I think you can't do this.
No.
It doesn't take away the anxiety. It just gives you a plan to function.
Right. How do you know when you're actually on the path that God intended for you?
Yeah. So first of all, we have to get to know God. Most people listening to this will say, but God doesn't have a purpose. He just is. He always was. He's infinite. He's perfect. He can't. Yeah? He can't care. He can't be involved. He's too perfect. Actually telling him what he can and can't do.
Right. Right.
And then we call him God.
Right. Right.
We're telling God what. The most powerful thing about God is not that he's infinite. Really, that's kind of irrelevant. What does it do for me that he's infinite? It just makes him distant.
Right.
Unreachable. The most powerful thing about God is this infinite, eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful, almighty God cares. That is,
It's mind-blowing.
if he hadn't told us this, we would never.
It's true. You're right. And it was a first in history, in human history. Amazing. Thank you for that answer. So question number 2 is get a life in the chapter facts, truth, and consequences. And this is a fascinating passage. You're talking about intention and good intentions. And if you mean well, God loves you for trying, even though you blew it, which I love. And if you meant evil, even though things turned out okay, he's not happy with you. So then you go on to say, you and your co-author go on to say, we have no idea which acts of kindness are the ones God is waiting for in order to bring Mashiach. It could be the very next thing you or I do that tips the scales. And we talked about this a little in our last conversation, but what do you mean by Mashiach?
One of the most widespread notions in all of history is Mashiach.
Mm-hmm. Which is Messiah in English, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's universal. It's been around forever. Basically speaking, a person who says, it's got to get better than this, that's messianic. How do you know it's got to get better? Why are you so sure?
Right.
Maybe it'll just get worse.
Right.
And it seems, the evidence seems to indicate
Yes.
just when you think it can't get any worse, right?
Yeah.
So where is this notion coming from? What do you mean it's got to get better? Why do you spend billions of dollars looking for a cure for cancer?
Mm-hmm.
There is no cure. Give it up.
Mm.
No, not
Right.
possible.
Right.
There must be a cure. Where is this optimism coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And it's keeping us alive, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
When things are terrible and life is miserable and the world is torn apart, we say, no, it's going to get better. Where is this coming from? Wishful thinking?
Good question. I don't know.
If God created a world and it doesn't look godly, it's got to get better.
Mm.
It can't be God created a world that is never going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
What is the point?
Mm-hmm.
So belief in God immediately translates into it's got to get better.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take it a step further, not it's got to get better, you got to make it better because you are partnering with God in creation.
Mm-hmm.
The creation will not become what God wants unless we make it happen. Because we are the world.
Mm-hmm.
We are the world.
We are the world.
So we have to make the world better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the whole story. Now you've got a plan, you've got a purpose, you've got an objective, you're here for a reason, you're necessary, which we should talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And life will get better.
Mm-hmm.
If we're determined, yes, it'll happen. And we have made life better. I mean, we're not living in caves anymore.
Right.
We've made life a lot better. But not perfect, to put it mildly. I remember this joke they made about President Trump, his first administration. They were joking about his arrogance. It was a very good joke. He went to Israel. And he went to the wall, to the Western Wall, to the Kotel. And he wrote a note, as people do, and they make a request from God, and they stick it in the cracks of the wall. Well, some comedian says, I found that note. You know what it said? It said, hi, God, this is Donald. Need anything? It was so funny.
That is
So
funny.
perfectly, like. Now, thinking about it, he's so right.
Yeah.
Everyone going to a holy place asks for something.
Mm.
Always on the take.
Mm.
We're always using God to get what we want.
Interesting.
How about the other way around?
Right.
If you're in a holy place, shouldn't you ask God what he wants?
Right.
I mean, it's so intuitively correct.
Right.
You went to a holy place to complain about your ingrown toenail? Or more serious things? And of course it's true. We are completely dependent on God. True. But don't rub it in my face. Don't make me feel like a real schmata, you know?
Right. Right.
You're helpless, you're fragile, you're All right, all right, all right.
Right. Right.
Don't make that my definition of myself.
Right.
So the real question is, hi, God, what can I do for you?
I love it. So what does that have to do with the word Mashiach? How is that Mashiach?
There is going to be a conclusion. We're not treading water. We're getting somewhere. So the idea is always Mashiach is coming. Not he's going to come. That's Santa Claus.
Right. Right. Right.
He is coming means there's a process. And the process leads to a fantastic conclusion.
So I know that my Christian viewers right now want to ask the question, how do you guys not believe that Mashiach didn't come 2,000 years ago?
Because this is not the conclusion we were hoping for.
Well, but they would say, Christians would say, the Messiah did come. He was crucified. He ascended to heaven. And now, all you have to do is accept Jesus as your personal savior. And that's the kingdom of heaven, and so what's wrong with you Jews? I'm just being blunt. This is a question that is asked, why did you guys miss that opportunity? Why do you keep saying no to him? I can't tell you how many times people I know and love say, I can't wait till you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And I'm a very big fan of Jesus Christ of Jesus as a, great figure, a great rabbi in many ways. But I feel like my answer would be very rude, which is I don't need to go that route because I already get to, talk to the guy, God directly. Like that's my job as a Jew, not, I can't go that way. He was very clear, no one else but me. But I'm just stammering through like my not very educated reactions when people say, I wish you'd accept Jesus. What would you say from your far more educated position about that question from Christian viewers?
Well, I'm not, really familiar with Christianity. From what I understand is he's coming again. Second coming.
Yes, many.
Which means he's going to come and fix this world.
Yeah.
I'm not too particular about who's going to do it.
Okay.
If that's the plan, fine.
Right.
So I'm waiting for Mashiach. Christians are waiting for Mashiach. Identifying him as an individual, I don't mind people worshiping a Jew.
I hear you, but they're very angry at us. In some Christians are angry at us that we missed it 2,000 years ago, in their view.
But can Mashiach come and mess up?
No.
So to say, yeah, he was the Messiah, but it didn't work. Well, could it happen again that he comes and he again messes up, or is not accepted?
I don't think they would say that it didn't work.
It didn't work. The world is a mess.
I'm not trying to represent all Christians now, but I know that there would be opposition to what you just said from many Christian viewers. Many Christians' view is, he came and died for our sins and redeemed the world and gave people a way to get to heaven and created a new covenant. I mean, it's pretty serious. Many Christians today are arguing that no one needs Jews anymore because there's a new covenant. So, not to get into a theological rabbit hole, but why is it okay that we Jews are still waiting for the Messiah?
Because the world is still not what it's meant to be.
Okay, well, that's fair. I think that's fair enough. I mean, that can't offend people. That's fair enough.
So the idea is this. We're talking about the world reaching its ultimate perfection, which is God's plan, not ours, right? So what about the individual, this Mr. Mashiach, a descendant of King David who will bring the world to its perfection? Not by himself. Because if he could do it by himself, why hasn't he done it by now?
Right.
It can't be by himself. We have to put in the effort.
Oh, wow. So, what I think you're saying is pretty mind-blowing. Are you saying 2,000 years ago it could have been Mashiach if all humanity had changed their ways?
For every day for the last 3,000 years, Mashiach could have come if we had been perfect.
Wow. All right. Well, I think that's fair enough.
So the important thing is, we're not waiting for Mashiach.
Right.
We're moving towards Mashiach through our efforts.
Right.
So then what do we need him? A person. Because every major change in history came through one person who had one good idea.
Wow.
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Nazism
Yeah.
shook the world.
Yeah.
One simple idea.
That wasn't a good idea.
Survival of the fittest.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, Darwin was the ultimate Nazi.
Right. Right.
And look how it affected the world. Communism. One simple idea. The rights of the worker.
Right.
Look what it did to the world.
Yeah.
So it's always somebody comes up with a brilliant idea. Just a person with no power, with no influence, with nothing. That idea attracts people. It becomes a country.
Yeah.
The country produces an army. The army sets out to force everybody else to agree with the idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is our history.
Yeah.
Everything. A good idea changes the world.
Right.
Mashiach has the good idea.
Right.
But we're building up to it.
So Mashiach needs our participation in order to arrive.
Otherwise, he could have been here any time.
Right. Right.
So until we are ready, he can't come, and then another fight will break out. He's not my Mashiach, he's your
Right,
Mashiach.
right.
That's not Mashiach.
Right. I take your point. Well, I have to say that the Torah kind of says that over and over, not specifically about Mashiach, but about God is constantly, it seems to me, giving the children of Israel instruction about how to create a more holy environment so he can hang out with them.
Repair the world.
Okay.
That's it. Repair it from what? From the condition in which God created it. God created a world of mortality. We didn't invent death. We can cause it, but we didn't invent it.
Right. Right.
Who invented death?
Well, God did.
Yes. This is the lowest creation of all of God's creations.
That's one of my questions. You talk about 4 worlds. Question number 4, I think. What do you mean by 4 worlds? And this is the lowest world.
There's a chain of worlds that God created. You're starting off with God himself. How did we go from that to this mess?
I don't know.
It's a huge leap.
It's not good, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God is God, and this is ungodly.
Yeah. Mostly, yeah.
Right? There's a chain of worlds gradually moving further and further away from God. Not all bad news. It's like you start off being your mother's fetus. What happens? You get born. You become a little independent. You're breathing on your own. You grow up. You get a job. And you move out of your parents' home. And you become independent. And you got your own life. That's not bad news if you do it right. But if you have to break from your parents and reject your parents and in order to become you, nobody's happy and nobody's healthy.
Right.
So here's the idea. God creates world after world more and more independent until we have freedom of choice. So for example, we know that there's a world of angels. Angels don't have freedom of choice.
Right.
They're too close
Right.
to be independent.
Right.
So our world is the most independent of all possible existences.
But also the furthest away from God. What are the other 2 worlds? I mean, there's, I guess, God is world number 1. And there's the angels, and there's us. What's the
There's
third
God.
one?
Then there's a universe or a condition in which the creatures created are completely, totally obsessed with God because they're so immediate. Then the next stage is where I have a sense of self, but I know my Creator, and He's everything to me, but to me. So already there's me, I, and thou. Right? But thou is very big. Then there's a world where there's me and there's God, and we're pretty much even. I'm real, He's real. I don't know that He's so much more real than me. And then there's the mentality or the world in which I'm for sure, I don't know about God.
Wow.
That's
That's where we are.
That's where we are.
Are any of the other worlds you just described what we would identify as heaven?
7 heavens.
There are 7 heavens in addition to 4 worlds.
Yeah.
Where the phrase seventh heaven comes from, no doubt. 7 heavens.
Yeah.
So over and above these 4 worlds that you just
70
described.
degrees of awareness.
Oh.
7. Because you can be completely unaware. You can be curiously aware. You can be committedly aware, or you can be completely in sync with Him.
Wow. Wow. So given what you've just shared, which is news to me, and it's from Kabbalah, right? This idea, this cosmology. Why is it that, and I've tried to explain this to my wonderful non-Jewish husband, but Jews are not obsessed with the afterlife. Like, we're really obsessed with bringing goodness and justice into this world. Given that there are 7 heavens and a whole dimension of angels and all these incredible things you just described, why aren't we obsessed with heaven? Why are we more focused on bringing justice into this messy, broken world? Question number 5.
To use a very immediate kind of an example, when you have children, is your objective and your desire that the children grow up and come home? Or is your desire that the children grow up and create a home for you?
Yeah, if you're healthy, it's the
like
latter.
An in-law apartment.
Right.
You don't want your children to come home. You want your children to create a home that you can live in with them.
Yeah.
So it's easier for people to just go home, to go back to heaven. So yeah, for me, I would love to go back to heaven, like a retirement home. Right?
Yes.
But God says, no,
Right.
I want to live on earth. Bring me down to earth, make the earth inviting for me, so that I can live in the lowest world, turning it into the highest world.
This is insane. New research has found that microplastics, yes, the same bad stuff from bottles and packaging, lodges inside the arteries of over half the people who were studied. And get this, those with microplastics in their bodies were 4.5 times more likely to have a heart attack or stroke. This is really serious. Microplastics are in your food, your water, even in your phone and in your steering wheel. And while RFK Jr. says he's cracking down, the 1.1 trillion plastics industry isn't going to go along with that quietly. So it's up to us to really protect ourselves. You can start with a few simple things. A natural drink, for instance, that lowers blood pressure, in some cases by 12 points. An ancient stress-lowering intervention, and a Chinese dragon tea that helps even the least healthy among us. I won't be able to share all the details here, but I am offering a free report that explains it all via our sponsors, My Primal Life. Just scan this QR code and see how thousands of people are ditching medications and getting their blood pressure under control naturally. Don't wait. Your heart and your overall well-being will thank you.
Wow. I never would have believed you if I hadn't been reading through the Hebrew Bible, because the instructions are so detailed, that like even the Ark of the Covenant, it's so detailed, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but it's one of the mysteries of the things we've read so far. It seems like it's a technology to me, that it's a physical thing that, allows there to be more holiness, or, lighting the candles on Shabbat, like more holiness. What?
It's like IKEA's instructions.
Kind of. I mean, doesn't it feel that way? There's like a schematic.
They're a little vague.
Yeah, right, right. But do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Or even like you've got to bathe yourself after you touch a corpse, or, you've got to purify yourself after you've had a disease, or all of these things are very technical, and for that reason they feel very real to me. Like it's like a real God is really saying, please create the conditions for me to live with you down on earth. Is this a misreading on my part?
No,
Is this real?
absolutely. Look, it's so obvious. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth.
Yes,
That's the last time heaven is mentioned.
that's true. It isn't mentioned in so far.
Everything else is about earth.
You're right. You're right. Wow.
So it's like God created heaven on the way to creating earth. But all the focus is on earth. It's not about heaven.
True. I mean, maybe the Torah is a set of instructions for us on earth, and there could be other instructions for creatures in heaven or being in heaven, right?
Yeah, I don't know if angels have commandments that they have to follow.
Right, because they're not in a state of free will, from what you just said. That's so interesting. So in that way, too, Judaism is kind of different from other religions that are more focused on the afterlife, right?
Actually, it's not a religion.
That is one of my questions. What do you mean by saying Judaism is not a religion?
If religion is a way to get to heaven, Judaism is not a religion.
Well, a religion can be a lot of other things, but you say pretty categorically that Judaism is not a religion, that we don't, you basically say people don't need organized religion to know God. Is that a misstatement on my part of your position? Sweetheart, can you give me time? I can't see because I'm not wearing my 12, 13. Thank you. Go ahead.
The United States was created by people who wanted to practice religion without government interference.
Right.
That's what we've been told.
Right.
That's the story. Keep government away from the religion.
Very true.
Right?
Yes.
I think it goes a little deeper than that. The people who came to America wanted to serve God without government interference. They also wanted to serve God without the interference of religion.
Yeah, that's true. Or the divisiveness of state-supported religion.
Don't threaten me
Right.
with hell, and don't reward me or tempt me with heaven. Leave me alone with my Creator.
Right. Right.
It's organic. It's natural. What's all this stuff?
Right.
So really, they came here not to be Christian, not to be Muslim, not to be Jewish. They came here to be away from all of those labels so that they can just serve their Creator.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Interestingly, Trump decides that we should dedicate one Shabbos for everyone to observe.
Right.
What? Where's this coming from?
What do you make of that?
Where did he come up with this
Right.
idea?
Right.
And he's doing it in honor of the 250th anniversary of the country. What is the connection? It's amazing.
Are you in favor or not in favor? I can't tell.
I think it's so divine that he says he's encouraging Jews to keep the Jewish Shabbos, and everyone else will keep it as well.
But non-Jews are upset by this.
I don't know. Some Jews are upset.
I'm sure they are.
Because non-Jews are not obligated to keep Shabbos.
Right, right.
But that's the whole point. Don't obligate me. I want to serve my Creator.
Right.
And His holy day is Shabbos.
Right.
So don't obligate me. Just leave me to serve my Creator.
Right.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. And people, I think, really misunderstand what it means to be a nation founded under God's protection or based on God. It's not the same as a sectarian state established religion.
Or even understanding what it means, separation of church and state.
Right, right. No, they truly don't. Well, this goes to question number 7. I can't believe the time is zipping along like this. And darling, I'm going to ask you after I address the rabbi with question number 7, can you read people's questions to us? And we'll take them one by one after this question. Okay?
That's on the question.
Well, you can use your judgment. Well, gosh, I can't believe the time has flown by, but at one section of this book, Creating a Life That Matters, which everyone should run out and order. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It's a life guide that's absolutely invaluable. You talk about the reason for the diaspora, the utility of Jews having been scattered all over the world. Could you elaborate on that? Because from a purely material or historical or personal point of view, it's kind of a drag that we've been chased from pillar to post and massacred and fed into ovens and, have had no real home until 1948 after the exile in 70 AD.
I hate when that happens. Look, the whole picture is really very simple. God wants his world, 8 billion people, to partner with him, to be in a relationship with him. Takes the Jewish people out of Egypt, brings them to Mount Sinai, and says, here's the plan.
Right.
Now tell everybody. So we sat in Jerusalem, having a wonderful time under King Solomon with the Holy Temple, and everything was wonderful.
Yeah.
And God said, no, tell everyone.
Right.
We didn't have internet.
Right.
So
Right.
we had to leave Israel, be scattered all over the world so that we can tell everyone.
Wow. But no one really likes us. I mean, how can we tell everyone if there's so much hostility and opposition everywhere we go? And when you say tell everyone, we're not supposed to proselytize, right? We're not supposed to say, hey, become Jewish.
Right.
So what do you mean when you say, he said, tell everyone? Tell everyone what? About the 10 Commandments? About not worshiping idols? What are we supposed to tell
There
everyone?
are
The moral
actually
code?
7 commandments that are the Noahide laws. Noah is the grandfather of everybody. So everybody is a descendant of Noah. And therefore everybody has 7 commandments that will make them virtuous, righteous. You keep these commandments, you're good in God's eyes, right? But God warns us many times in the Torah, you're going to be scattered all over the world, and it's not.
He does warn us. It's crazy.
It's not going to be fun.
Right. He did say that a lot. Yeah. Wow. So our job is to go all over the world and share the 7 Noahide laws? Is that what you mean by tell the world? That's what God intended?
Yeah, but everybody knows the 7 Noahide laws.
Yeah.
We've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I mean, who in the world doesn't know about Adam and Eve?
Right.
Who in the world doesn't know about the 10 Commandments?
You're right.
But what are commandments? Whose commandments? Why do we need commandments? And really the word commandment?
It's not right. I keep explaining that.
God says, I want a relationship and here are my commandments. Well, there goes the relationship.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's not how you create a relationship.
Right.
So God reveals himself, tells us everything he loves and everything he hates. He's so open.
Yeah.
He bears his soul at Mount Sinai.
Which is why you titled that Divinely Vulnerable, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So he makes himself completely vulnerable, saying, I'm depending on you completely to do what it takes to make this world so that we can live together on earth.
Right.
So there's resistance.
Is that why people hate us?
Yeah.
Then we're not very good at our job of telling the world about, those 7 commandments if everywhere we go people hate us. Or is it because we're good at it that everyone hates us?
I'm not sure why everybody hates us. I'm not going to try to justify it.
Right.
But have we done a good job?
Well, I guess in one way, you're right. We have, because everyone knows what they are if they bother to check.
And even the spin-off.
Don't
Christianity.
use that. We'll never hear the end of that. I don't want to censor you, but yes, the descendant of Judaism is Christianity. Yes.
Yeah. And Islam.
And Islam, you're absolutely right.
So religion came out of Judaism.
Yes.
Judaism was never a religion.
Right.
It was the purpose for which we exist. Why is that a religion?
Yeah. I see.
That's in our DNA. It's not a religion.
Well, if these are the mitzvot, which is the Hebrew word for commandment, which I agree is not well translated as commandment, but what word would you use? The directions, the requests, like what's a closer?
Points of contact.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, why shouldn't non-Jews observe the Sabbath?
By all means.
Do you think they would be well advised to observe the Sabbath? I mean, they have for
in some way,
2 millennia,
yes,
on Sunday. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what have we given the world?
Mm-hmm.
We've given the world Islam and Christianity and a Messiah, and we've given.
It's a lot.
we just need some fine tuning.
I hear what you're saying. I do. Well, this is an extra question, a bonus question, if you don't mind, but I did want to ask it before we turn to the questions of the viewers. You talk a lot in your various books about shalom bayit. We talked about that last time too, which means peace of the house. And you really prioritize the relationship between married people and also the family relationships. Like heaven begins at home, right? Is certainly not just your view, but I think it's fair to say that that's an observant Jew's perspective, that family isn't the opposite of serving God. It is a way to serve God, to create healthy, beneficial, respectful relationships. I was very struck in this book with the section that says you shouldn't ask your parents to do things for you. Like, hey, Mom, get my sweater, please, while you're upstairs. It seems like such a little thing, but it's kind of a big thing. And just to share a little more about why I'm asking this, I spoke to my rabbi, my Chabad rabbi, about a loved one, a relative who's passed away, and I was frustrated with some things about this relative's life and kind of wanted answers the way you do in the West, right? And my rabbi said, you know what, all you have to do is honor and respect them. You don't have to know the answer. You don't have to psychoanalyze them. You don't have to figure it out. And that was weirdly, incredibly, it elicited a great sense of peace for me. I don't need to work it all out with my, we all have these crazy psychobiographies. We don't need to hammer out every detail. We just need to respect and honor our parents is the bottom line. Turning again to this thing, don't ask your mom to bring you a sweater. Can you say more about that? It seems like a little thing, but it seems bigger too.
Oh, God says you have to love your neighbor. Mm-hmm. Does that include your mother?
Surely.
Your closest neighbor.
Right, right.
So why the special commandment to honor your parents?
I'm not sure. Why?
Why you just love everybody?
Yeah.
Which includes your parents.
Right.
Why is there that special in the Ten Commandments?
In the Ten Commandments, it's high ranking.
Yeah. Engraved in stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why honor? Well, what does honor actually mean even?
Yeah.
Bow to them? Kiss their feet? How do you honor? But the guiding principle is lighten their burden. Oh. Don't add to their burden.
Wow.
So don't ask them to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do something for them.
Right.
Carry their bags. This is how you honor. If you carry their bags, you get up from the table to bring the food, you help them on with their coat. Menial tasks.
Now I'm going to cry. How many kids do that, right? How many adult kids remember, oh, I'm going to help my mom off with her coat. That's so beautiful.
How many adult kids call their mother and say, I'm busy, can you pick up my dry cleaning?
You're right.
Can you go run over to the house and feed the dog?
Yeah.
It is so disrespectful. So it's not love your parents, because sometimes
Yeah. Not so easy.
not so easy.
Right.
Respect, no, sometimes. So that's it? Relationship is over? No.
No.
Honor them.
Wow.
Don't sit in their chair.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
It is.
There's a chair right there,
Yeah.
and you need to sit down.
Right.
But you can't sit on that chair.
Right.
It's your mother's chair.
Oh my goodness.
So all of a sudden, you know you're a child. You know you have a mother. You're normal.
Right.
You've got an identity.
Right.
But if you sit wherever you want, you say whatever you want to your mother, you talk to your mother as if she's your friend or maybe your enemy, you have no mother.
This is going to reduce me to a puddle. Oh my gosh. That's so profound.
So what makes the child-parent relationship unique?
What?
You honor. You don't honor friends.
Right, right, right,
You can sit in your friend's chair.
right, right,
You can sit with your friend in the
Right.
chair.
right.
So it's simply true to life. That's why I keep saying it's not a religion.
It's kind of life guidance, making life holier.
It's the ultimate truth of life,
Truth of life.
of creation, of our being.
But why does it benefit everyone when, say, an adult child honors his or her mother in that way, in these ways? I mean, I'm partly tearing up because I'm just thinking of, that's so not our cultural norm. Our cultural norm is, mom, can you babysit? Mom, can you, pick up the dry cleaning? We don't spend our adult lives thinking, how can I make my mother's life easier?
And it becomes even worse.
Yes.
Mom, can you shut up?
Oh, God forbid.
Can you mind your own business? And
No, people don't say that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
that's horrible.
Yeah. The first time I heard a teenage girl say, Ma, you're so stupid. Why doesn't everybody have that reaction?
I have wonderful children and stepchildren, but no, that's chas v'chalila, as we say. May that never happen to any mother.
It's jungle behavior. It's not
Well, it
human.
is, but now that you're talking about this, every Hollywood movie, family movie that I've seen for the last 15 years shows kids, even adult offspring, treating their mothers very
Badly.
disrespectfully.
Yes.
Fathers too, but mothers more disrespectfully.
Yeah.
It's shocking. But so why is it good in a family for adult children to remember, oh, I've got to call my mom, I've got to make sure she's comfortable. I've got to make sure that, I'm looking out for her.
I think we owe it to them, to be honest, right? But also, it's very unhealthy to have the mindset that all reality begins with me.
Ah, yes.
I'm here,
Right.
and that's all
It
you
all
need to
began with my birth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're here?
Right.
Where did you come from? Who?
That's so the Western view,
Everything
I
begins
think
now.
because, it exists because I think, or I think therefore I am. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So is that why
And
God
that
prioritizes?
literally deteriorates into narcissism.
Right, right.
Inevitably.
Right, gotcha.
If you don't honor your mother, you're a narcissist.
Right, it's so true. Oh my gosh. So that's why God prioritized it so high in the written code. It's engraved in
fact,
stone.
God actually is quoted as saying, if they don't respect their parents, what chance do I have?
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. He's so right. Well, now let me turn, I promise this is the last question of mine, and then we'll turn to viewers' questions. That extends, you also have strong words in all of your books about married couples respecting each other and not fighting in front of the kids and speaking nicely to each other, and that's kind of above every other thing we think of in the West as important in a marriage. Can you say more about respectful words between husband and wife?
Well, aside from the benefits for the children, don't do it in front of the children. If you don't respect each other, you're going to kill each other. There's no gray area here. The nicest guy, who everybody loves, the life of the party. He's the center of attention at the synagogue. He comes home and he's a monster to his wife. How does that happen? I mean, who is he really? Is he the nice guy out there, or is he the monster at home? Familiarity breeds contempt. I mean, there's no uglier word in the English dictionary.
It's so bad.
Contempt?
It sounds like what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to wash your mouth after you say the word.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's true.
But how do you avoid that by watching, guarding how you speak to one another? Does speaking respectfully help married couples avoid the familiarity that breeds contempt? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because that's what respect means. Respect means I can't take you for granted. I can't even consider myself totally equal with you. Respect means you're a little bit a step above.
I like that. So you're saying men and women should treat each other in a marriage as if you're a little bit above me.
Yes. Meaning, I have no right to criticize you. I have no right to look down at you. I have no right to deny you. Not I need to be a very nice guy. No, I have no right. Like, who gave you the right to insult your wife? Oh, she's my wife. What? What does that mean?
Right. So this is great, marital psychology, but in what way does God say don't insult your wife or husband?
If we don't have the oral Torah, we have nothing. If you don't know what the text is implying, then you don't know what God wants.
And the oral Torah, just to go back to what we talked about last time, is the commentary going back to Babylon, based on the Torah. Right?
What God told Moses orally.
Right.
Not everything was written down.
Right.
So what God says is a man should honor his wife more than himself.
I like that.
Because women are sensitive to injustice.
God said that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. God said it to Moses, and this is written, is it Rashi or?
Talmud.
Talmud, wow.
Honor your wife more than yourself because she is very sensitive to injustice.
I love it.
That is such a good description of the feminine mentality.
It's so true. And women are especially sensitive to injustices aimed at them. Yes.
But that's a man is very sensitive to his ego needs.
That's true.
So don't insult me because it hurts me.
Right.
A woman says, don't insult me. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's an injustice.
That is very profound. Well, I have to ask as a follow-up question, and I promise I'll stop and read. My wonderful husband will read some of the questions from viewers. I've often thought about the Eshet Chayil passage on Sabbath on Friday night. Observant Jewish men are supposed to read a chapter or a section from this. Where is Eshet Chayil from? I don't know, but it's
Proverbs.
Thank you. Proverbs that basically praises a good woman, a good wife. She's, she makes the home beautiful. She dresses her family in linens. She's weaving. She's being productive. She gives charity. And it just kind of enumerates all the little nitpicky things that women do throughout the week that no one really notices. And basically it gives her that moment to notice her and to praise her. And it says a woman of valor her price is above rubies. And I've often thought that the strength of the Jewish family for 2,000, 3,000 years is reinforced by the rabbis who know that every wife needs to hear that at least once a week. And if the husband forgot to say it, here's this passage as a kind of cliff notes, like you need to notice your wife. What would you say to that, the Eshet Chayil, and that observation?
If you read through it, 22 sentences, compliments. It's kind of disappointing.
Why?
There's nothing special about her.
She's so special.
How?
I think any working mom would, and all moms work, would relate to how special it is. She's, he's noticed, he's not just saying she's so hot, she's so pretty. But he's saying
she's not the smartest, she's not the biggest, she's not the strongest, she's not the richest.
no, but he's noticing what she does for the household and the family and him, you know, to protect everyone, to look after the servants, to look after the poor people, to make sure that everything's in order in her household.
Here's the most amazing thing.
What?
She does all of that and it's nothing special.
Why do you say it's nothing special? I think it, to be compared to your price above rubies, I would go for that. That's pretty nice.
To the woman,
what do you think it should be?
What she's doing
Yeah.
is nothing special.
No, but what's special is that her husband is noticing it.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not that she has to do something unusual.
I see what you're saying.
Superhero thing. She does everything and it's not special. It's just real.
Right.
It's just life.
Right.
The problem is we take it for granted.
Yes.
So what the whole message is, don't take your wife for granted.
Yes.
You don't have to praise her as being the biggest and the greatest and that's just don't take her for granted. So this is an insight into the psyche of a male and psyche of a woman. A man needs compliments. He needs to be told wow. A woman doesn't need a wow.
No.
She needs a thank you.
Yeah.
Just see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I'm the greatest and the best because you don't even mean it.
You're right. That's
So,
very profound.
We have this mistaken idea that women need compliments. No, women need appreciation.
That's true.
Don't tell me I'm great. Just notice how great I am.
Yeah, that's really good. So would you agree that the Eshet Chayil is in the Friday night kind of order of service, I guess, at home, to remind men, to prompt men to appreciate their wives if they've forgotten that week?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Cool.
I was trying to explain this to some men. And I said, New Yorkers, I said, Derek Jeter, you like him? Oh, great. I said, what? He didn't hit the most home runs. He didn't have the most RBIs. He didn't. What's so special about him? He was always where he was needed.
Oh, wow.
He was always right there where.
Wow.
That's a wife. Yeah.
You're not kidding. And a mother.
And she's the captain because he was the captain of the team.
Right. I love it. Beautiful. I can't believe we've run out of our time with my questions. Now, Brian O'Shea, my wonderful husband, will read us, because the screen is too far away for me to do it, some questions from our viewers who are live.
Okay, so these are coming from your YouTube. The first question is from Matthias. What about Krishna? Would you say the same to Hindus?
It's really, really interesting. The Eastern religions are also not religions, they're philosophies of life.
That's true.
Because they don't have a revelation, they don't have a Bible, they don't have... What it really is, if you trace it back, Abraham, served God for 75 years before God ever spoke to him.
Wow.
So Avram developed a real philosophy of life and creation and creator, souls and incarnations. He knew it all. That was the tradition that he gave his other children, who eventually moved to the East.
Oh, wow. So you would say even Hinduism is an Abrahamic religion.
It's Abrahamic.
Wow.
It's not Torah-based,
Uh-huh.
but it comes from Abraham.
Amazing. I have never heard that before. Let's have some other questions. Can we have some questions from the viewers here? There's tons of questions on the... Yeah. Yeah. You can't see them? Okay. If you pass me my glasses, I can see them.
Actually, Sean's sending them to me. Sorry, Rabbi.
The early teachers in the East are called Brahmin.
Yes.
Brahmin.
Brahman.
Abraham.
No, no. How do Hindus react when you say this?
I don't have that much experience.
That is really interesting. Well, that's so interesting.
One of Abraham's children that he had with Hagar, who he married after Sarah passed away,
Okay.
one of his children's name was Ashram. Ashram.
Oh, wow. You know, it's so interesting you say this because my late grandfather, Irving Goldman, studied the roots of all the major languages and all the major religions, and there are cognates between the language that preceded the languages that went into Southeast Asia and India, and Hebrew. There are cognates in them. That's so fascinating. Yes.
What do Jews and Christians misunderstand about each other?
Oh, that's a great question.
You could pick a top three.
What they misunderstand about each other?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what is not understood about Judaism, and that we've already talked about. Judaism is not the desire or the goal of getting to heaven, but it's to bring God down to earth.
Okay.
So dying in order to get to heaven is a sin. You go in the wrong direction. You're going to get to heaven and God is not there. God has come down to earth. Right? So that is a major, major difference. These students at the university were given an assignment to visit all the service organizations who are there to make the world better, to improve society, the city, whatever. And they had to visit, I think, 19 places. And so they came to the Chabad house and said, what are you doing to make the world better?
That was their question to Chabad.
Everybody.
Yeah.
They came to Chabad and asked the same question. I said, how many organizations have you spoken to so far? They said about 9, 10, whatever. I said, so you have 9 or 10 organizations making the society better. Has society gotten better? Are we getting anywhere? And they laughed. No. I said, well, that's pretty sad. And they said, yeah, and that's why it's so good to know that there's a better world awaiting us.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
I said, maybe that's why this world isn't getting any better.
Yeah.
If you think there's a better place, how much are you going to invest in this one?
Right.
There is no better place.
Right.
There's easier. Heaven is easier. You got no job, no responsibilities, but not better.
Right.
Better to be here, working with God, relating with God on an intimate level, not like angels who are just butlers, errand boys. You know? So that definitely is a huge difference between.
Right. And I guess you prefer not to tackle what do Jews misunderstand about Christians, or do you have any thoughts about that?
We don't know anything about Christians.
Okay.
All we know is that there's a Jewish person that they adore, and they consider the Messiah, the Savior, which, in a sense, the Jewish people as a whole are the Messiah to the world.
I don't know if people will like that, but it's certainly worth thinking about.
The ideas are the same. They just apply it to an individual. We apply it to the group.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
God's suffering servant.
Right.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Who has suffered the iniquities of others.
Yes. Yes.
So you can apply it to the individual, or you can apply it to the group.
Gotcha. Well, do you agree that through following Jesus, people who are not Jewish get to participate in the Jewish heritage?
If they follow him.
Yeah.
not Christianity.
Right. Well, that's a whole other.
Right?
Yeah, of course. Yes, I'm with you there.
If they follow him,
Yes.
they would all be keeping kosher.
Yeah, I know. I agree. What would you say is next, Brian?
Oh, I
From
would
the
also
questions.
comment on that. Go back to the original part of the beginning of this conversation about what you were saying about Messiah, and that does make sense.
Right, it does make sense. Are there more questions,
Yeah.
sweetheart?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
God also said patience. So, what is the biggest lie modern culture, let's say modern Western pop culture, tells young people?
What is the biggest lie that modern popular culture tells young people is the question. And please let us know when we're out of time.
I
Okay.
don't know when that is.
Okay.
I was
Well,
instructed
gosh,
plenty of time.
let's go for another
The
5 or
biggest
10 minutes
lie
if you can.
is that you need to love yourself.
Say more about that, please.
You do love yourself. You don't need to love yourself more. It really is such a lie, and it's so destructive. It's so toxic. This obsession with self, which is narcissism,
Right.
and we're doing it. It's not an accident. We're causing it intentionally.
Yeah.
Think about yourself. Put yourself first. You're number one.
Self-care.
Self-care.
Yeah.
Validation,
Realization,
realization.
yes.
Do it my way.
Right.
And I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
Right, right.
You are me. Can you be something more than that? Really, like I was this sign, this thought, with wisdom signs. And every day, do something you enjoy.
Oh, wow.
That's all anybody ever does. Wait. What kind of advice is this?
Oh, my gosh.
See, the Torah says the exact opposite. You are created loving yourself. You have free choice. Can you love others also, or just yourself? In other words, can you share the love you have? It is so intuitively, God gave you love so that you can love yourself.
Yeah, right.
You're like a dark star.
Wow. Yeah.
You're sucking all the light into yourself.
Yeah.
You're a black hole in space. God gave you, certain people, $200 billion. For you? What are you, crazy? Can't be for you. But it's yours.
Right.
Well, guess what you should be doing with it?
Sharing it.
Yes.
Yes.
God gave you a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge. What are you doing? Keeping it to yourself? Does that make any sense at all?
None. No. Yeah.
So what is it that I have that is for me? Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Yeah. I love it.
Life itself. Oh, you're alive?
Yeah.
Can you give somebody else life too?
Right.
Have
No.
a baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Be fruitful. The first mitzvah.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Don't keep your life to yourself. You're going to die.
Right. Right. Right.
You have children. You don't die.
Right.
Right? So this message about self. So raising children. The primary challenge of raising a child is to wean them away from themselves.
Oh, wow. That's profound. That's so profound. That would take care of 9/10 of neuroses if we did that. That's very deeply profound. All right, we only have time for like
That's a
one
good
more
follow-up.
question.
And in some way, we actually do that.
Yes.
We don't realize. Bedtime.
Ah,
I don't want to. I know you don't want to, but
yes.
it's bedtime.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Yes. Yes.
You don't want to, but
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
there's something more than what you want.
Yes. Yeah, profound. I'm really, before you ask that question, I just want to say I'm very worried about this generation of babies and parents because some demonic influence is teaching them, what's it called, gentle parenting or affirmative parenting. And so it's like reasoning with the child, bribing the child, and you're not allowed to do 1, 2, 3 time out anymore, which is how I raised my beautiful children. That's considered like too harsh. And I see these children getting more and more like tantrumy and emotional because no one's setting boundaries.
Insane. Say it.
Insane.
They're crazy.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
And they're going to grow up crazy.
Yeah.
No boundaries at school, no boundaries at home. Shocking. Last question, sweetheart. The rabbi's been so generous with us all, with his time.
By the way, it's very strict with my kids.
Good. Yeah.
And they're great. So kind of a follow-up to the other question. Has modern culture lost the ability to distinguish freedom from self-destruction?
So I'm going to repeat that for the audio. Has modern culture lost the ability to distinguish freedom from self-destruction? That's a great question.
You shouldn't distinguish. They're the same thing.
But you were saying earlier that we all have freedom and free will, and that's a good thing if we align with God.
You have the freedom to not indulge yourself, and that's the real division point. The thinking is you can't deny yourself. You can't. You gotta be. The other opinion is you have freedom of choice. You can deny yourself and be bigger than you are.
Interesting.
So it all boils down to, am I the needy one or am I the needed one? That's it.
I love it.
God comes and says, you feel needy? No. I'm telling you, you're needed.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And if you feel needed, you don't need anything else. It's not love makes the world go round. Knowing that you're essential makes the world go round. Because if I'm not necessary, no amount of love is going to make up for it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, on that note, I think we have to wrap it up.
So people want to know where to find the rabbi.
I will tell them where to find the rabbi, and he will also tell them where to find the rabbi. Well, first of all, go to itsgoodtoknow.org on the internet, and all the books, but also programs, series, lectures. It's a very rich website. They're all there, itsgoodtoknow.org. And Rabbi, do you want to add any information about where people can find you or what to buy? Just before I stop talking, I want to say his latest book is called Divinely Vulnerable, The Life-Changing Truth of How and Why God Needs Us. And may I hold it up on the camera? Thank you so much. And it's right there. Again, I highly recommend this. It's unputdownable. It's a very quick read, very, very important. And the book I've been reading from, which I also think is essential, is Creating a Life That Matters, The Essential Guide to Living with Meaning and Purpose. Itsgoodtoknow.org. Rabbi, where do people find more of you?
That's enough.
Okay. All right.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Well, and remember, he's also YouTube's top rabbi, so you can also watch on YouTube and all other platforms where you can find Rabbi Friedman. I want to thank his wonderful family who are part of his production team. I want to thank you for welcoming me and Brian to your beautiful studio today in Brooklyn. And above all, I want to thank you so much for your generosity with all of our viewers. Tons of reactions, tons of responses, lots to think about. And you've done so much to help all of us, whatever our background, understand better what our purpose is on this planet and how to be of service to God and each other today. So thank you.
Yeah, we should end by